And welcome to Desk of LADYADA.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Desk of LADYADA. We're doing these Sunday nights at LADYADA o'clock, which is sometimes around 8, sometimes around 10. It's always around Sunday night though. Getting ready for the week, and that means wrapping up some of the electronics that are on our desk.
The air quality outside is frightful, but the information about electronics we give you is going to be delightful.
Yeah, we also do have some air quality projects coming up soon because we were going to do them.
2020, spin the wheel.
Yeah.
Little bit of advice, everyone. I've told this to our team. We have 100 plus employees. Get a go bag. Be ready to occasionally not be home during some type of disaster, because that's everything that's going on this year. That's our little public service.
That's right.
Also, get a flu shot.
We did, and we got a COVID test.
Yeah, I got a COVID test. We do it every month now. We're trying to set a good example for everybody. Crushing the curve.
Okay, you want to get to some tronics?
Yeah. What do you want to show this week?
Well, I thought let's show some electronics on my desk that I've been messing with today. I actually worked on a lot of testers this weekend, which we took a couple of videos of. I also picked up one of these. This is a Sparklet. I saw this being tweeted about with Microsoft Expressive Pixels. See there, I was like, what is Microsoft Expressive Pixels? Well, first off, I took this thing apart, and it's got like 18 by 18. It's like an 18 pixel diameter. I think these are their NeoPixel. They're dot stars. I think they're NeoPixels because they're 4 pins. So they're like 2020, 2 millimeter by 2 millimeter. There's a little bit of power stuff here. And on the back, there's an nRF52840. It looks like there's like a couple other receiver options or expansion modules, and a LiPo charger booster. Looks actually kind of like it's actually like a knockoff power boost, or maybe they just redrew the power boost, but it's the same two chips. It's the TPS 6109 and the MCP 73871. So, those are popular chips, and they got a charging status and a little charging boost converter here. USB comes in to charge and do data, and there is this is an nRF52840, like I mentioned. There's a reset switch and a button, and when I double-clicked the reset switch, it came up as a UF2 chip. So you could pretty easily, if somebody wanted to port CircuitPython to this or run it with Arduino, it's probably running Arduino. It's actually probably running our board support package. They just don't talk about it. It's not open source hardware, so I can't prove it. But
Microsoft is not buying TikTok, so they're going to have plenty of time to get back to this project.
Yeah. Anyways, so the cool thing about this is that it runs with Microsoft Expressive Pixels, which I wanted to try out. So when you plug this in, it kind of does some animations, and I'll put the little diffuser on it. Actually,
let me
grab my diffuser. I have some LED acrylic, which will do a really good job of diffusing this. So there we go, much more visible. And then let's go to the computer so we can see. Let's open up Expressive Pixels. So this is a Microsoft Research app. I think it's something is related to MakeCode, although I couldn't quite figure out exactly what. And
so I'll bounce back between the two. All right. So
you can
going to mouse over these.
So you can connect to it over Bluetooth or USB. And I'm just going to connect over USB. And it does a little thing. And then what's nifty is that as you mouse over, like I'm mouse overing this weather animation.
Yeah.
You can see here. If you bounce back to the overhead, you'll see that same animation display. Maybe it would be better to put this. It's more visible. It's pretty bright. It's so bright. And then if you do maybe I'll do this flower. Maybe this flower is a little bit more visible. You want to try that one?
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little live editing here and see if I can have both on the screen at the same time.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
Well, we'll see.
I see this lightning. This one's a little bit more visible.
Yeah, okay. So
light pulse. So as you mouse over these, it's like, and there's like a little LED editor. So you can make animations in this Windows app, and it syncs automatically. And they have support for like larger pixel displays. So I've got, this is like the flame. The flame looks kind of cool. Well, I've got this, we've been working with RGB LED matrices a lot. Like 64 by 32. That's kind of cool, but yeah, it's a little bright. But it's like a flame effect. You can see it.
yeah, it's neat.
So with the LED matrices that we've got in the store, these 32 by 64, I think it can, the code is actually in Arduino. I found like the GitHub repo, and also it's a lot of Adafruit code. So I have a high expectation that I can get this matrix portal to work with expressive pixels, which could be a cool project. So I just tried that out this weekend.
Okay.
So far, so good.
Oh, a little bit of follow-up. John in the chat says, thank you so much for the maximum evaluation kit. Thanks for the tip. That's
free.
Right. That's right.
It's free.
We deliver.
We deliver the free.
Okay.
So that's expressive pixels. So cool stuff. Check it out. You can pick up a Sparklet. I got it on Amazon, but I think they also have a website. So next up, it's time for STEMA Sunday.
We're celebrating over 50 STEMAs. There's a lot more, but...
Now there's actually like 55.
Yeah.
Because it's been, just like 1 or 2 a week.
And, one little note. If you go to the open source hardware certification site, they reached a milestone of 1,000 open hardware certifications. Adafruit is about 419. We are about 43%-ish of all certified open source hardware. We want people to dethrone us.
Yeah.
Get that open source hardware up there.
You should.
You don't want us to be number one. You don't
we
want
have
that.
40%, but we want to be like 10%.
Yeah.
So this little demo is, this is running on the STEMA QT, so I'll unplug this. I have it wired up to a 320 by 240 TFT. This is the Rev B. So the Rev B, you can see there's one green wire. I had one little mistake. But what's cool is on the bottom you can solder in a an SOIC flash memory, SPI flash memory. It's not QSPI. The SAMD21 doesn't have QSPI support. But you can add extra storage if you'd like. And then, testing out all the things that are in the board definition, like a TFT display. So that's why I've got it wired up to this display. Is I'm testing out the SPI port, the GPIO port, and then connecting up a sensor. So you can build like fairly complicated projects thanks to having 10 GPIO pins and this I2C port. So this is a thermal camera demo, just showing it off with a MLX 9640. These are actually out of stock now, right? Because there's no thermal cameras available anywhere on Earth. They're all being used for medical devices, which is a good thing. But sign up, and as soon as we have more of these, we will have them in stock. But in the meantime, you can see.
Yeah,
Bye.
I guess just a little side note. So we at Adafruit publish our daily protocols, adafruit.com/opensafely. So we do temperature checks every day. So I have like everyone's temperature in the entire company. We log it every day.
Yeah.
If there's fevers and everything. And
everyone's like exactly like 98 degrees.
Yeah, everyone stays pretty much the same. It'll be interesting to see if this is one of the things that carries forward as we hit flu season and more, because it hasn't been a tool that we're not going to stop doing it, but we also delivered thermometers to all of our team members at home. So before they even leave, they're not feeling well, they're taking your temperature. So,
yeah.
Sometimes we get asked questions like, how are you running Adafruit and what are you doing? We're going to keep doing the temperature thing, but I don't know if that's going to be one of the things that you see a lot of businesses do. Like a lot of them went out and got all these thermal cameras. A lot of them have fever screening. We do it. We're always going to do it because we don't have other tools in our lives yet.
No, and we
just
do
one of
we can.
many things. So we'll see what happens. So anyways, we did notice though, it's hard to get a lot of things that are used for these devices.
Yeah, we did get a shipment of AMG 8833, so those are the 8x8 thermal camera modules, and we ordered those like in January. We were just placing an order anyways, and they're like they'll be delayed, but they actually did ship us a bunch. So if you want an AMG 8833, if you've been waiting for one of those, they're in stock. So that's our STEMMA QT project for the week.
Okay.
I had one more revision just to fix that one little green wire hack. And I ordered PCBs, and I worked on a tester. We have a little video that we'll post this week of the test procedure. I don't have the tester here anymore. I dropped it off at the office. But we can test a QT Py board in under 3 seconds, which is great. It's very promising. Finally, I've got the... hold on. I got the PCBs for the, for the Metro ESP32 S2. So, I like, for a module this big, I mean, this is a pretty chunky module. It has the ESP32 S2, 4 megabytes of flash, and 2 megabytes of PS RAM. So it's pretty big. So I do want to have a feather design, of course, but I wanted to start with a ESP32 S2 Metro, so like an Arduino Uno shape. So Wi-Fi module, USB-C, debug port, power supply, LiPo charger, DC power on-off switch, STEMMA QT connector. So it's going to be USB-C and also DC power. It'll be a pretty simple build. I just have to put this together to verify. The first time I build a board with any chipset or module is always the toughest because you want to there's all these little things you don't realize you didn't know. Once I have one good schematic for a chip or module though, I can kind of spin them out into multiple versions. So like I've done that with the SAMD21. Like once I made all the mistakes I had to make with the SAMD21, now I can quickly design new SAMD21 boards without much difficulty or complexity. So that's that. And then, okay, so let's go to the computer, and we're gonna talk about capacitive touch sensing.
We're gonna go right into the great search, or you want to start talking first?
Let's just go straight to the great search, and then you can pop into the computer, and I'll introduce it.
Okay, every single week we do the great search. DigiKey. What are we looking for this week, LADYADA?
It's a great tune.
That's right.
Now with lyrics. So folks who've been watching the Adafruit site have noticed that we have been going through and STEMMA QT-ifying a lot of our sensors and devices. So, the List 3DH, for example, used to be just a plain breakout. We stopped it for many years. It's product ID 2809, but then like 2 weeks ago, we STEMMA QT-ified it. We added plug-and-play sensors and made it kind of the standard 1 inch by 0.7 inch shape. We did the same thing for this VL53LOX and the OLED. So we've been going through and adding these plug-and-play connectors to make it really easy for people to, say, use it with the QT Py. They just plug in whatever they want, no soldering required. You can get pretty far without having to worry about any wiring issues. And fellow Adafruit'er JP was asking, hey, do you know when you're going to have the STEMMA QT version of the NPR 121? This is a very popular capacitive touch sensor, the NPR 121. People in the maker community have been using this chip for like over a decade. And we've got a breakout, and you can even see there's like even a little bit of space here. We could add the 2 STEMMA QT connectors. It wouldn't even really change physical shape, which would be really nice. Unfortunately, the NPR 121 is no longer made. It's discontinued. Now, there's enough in stock around the world that I'm able to kind of keep the current breakouts and shields that we make available, but you can't buy more of these, really. I mean, and I wouldn't design a new breakout using this chip, because any day now I'm going to get news that I can't even get back stock. There's no gray market available either. It's completely gone, which is a shame because it's a really nice chip. Not sure why NXP discontinued this. Anyways, so JP is saying, hey, on the next great search, can you show, you showed how to find alternatives when there's like a clear alternative, but what if there isn't like a suggested alternative? What if it's like really obsolete, there's really discontinued, and there's no equivalent? So I thought, because this is a common thing, let's go over and show what I do and how I'm going to find the alternative chip that I could use to make a stemma QT breakout. Now the NPR 121 is discontinued. So this is so discontinued that like you can't even back order it. It's just completely deleted off of like the website. Like it's still there for record. And you can see that, they do stock our breakouts, and there's other breakouts like from DF Robot or Micro E or Seed. But for the most part, like this chip isn't available. Well, the first thing you want to do is pop up the data sheet, which I actually have in the tutorial. So I'm going to open the data sheet. So this is the NPR 121, and you want to look at the pinout. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to find a chip that has an equivalent pinout. I will say, once in a while, you find a chip that's discontinued, and there's an equivalent pinout version, like the HMC magnetometer, the 5883, HMC 5883 was a very popular magnetometer by Honeywell. They discontinued it. And another company made the MMC 5883, which is pin compatible. It wasn't software compatible, but it was pin compatible. If you're lucky, that's available. So let's see if we're lucky. So I'm going to take advantage of this product attributes search again. It's very powerful when you're looking for alternatives. So I want to search within the capacitive touch sensors. I don't need it to be by NXP. I do want it to be I2C. I don't care about the inputs. I'll tell you why. Because what if it has 20 inputs or 24 inputs? I just want something that has at least 12. So I'm going to actually leave this unchecked. And I do want it to be surface mount. And then, if I'm lucky, it's pin compatible and it's voltage compatible. But nothing else is like as specific. So let's view similar. Okay, so now we're going to, again, because we don't want to get stuck with selection of the NPR 121 again, let's apply only active. And then, okay, see, because sometimes there's up to 16 inputs or 12 inputs. So I want at least 12 inputs. So I'm going to control click and go through. Wow, there's like 150 inputs. It's like some multiplex thing. And let's apply the filters. Okay, cool. So looks like there's, buttons up to 16, up to 8. So this is kind of cool. This one is a little nutty. Oh, this is like a touchpad controller that also has, I guess, button support. That's too many, though. I don't need something like this. And also, it's not individual. Like you can tell, it's a 48 QFN. You have to have one electrode per connector. So this isn't probably going to be what I want. So next up, let's do more filters. So all these voltages look good to me because I'm okay with it running at 3.3 volts. I don't want something huge, so I'm going to pick all of these 32 and less. And I think the 72 inputs is kind of bonkers, so I'm just going to select 25 or less. Okay, well, next up, actually, because I selected all of them, there's a lot more options than last time. Let me look to see if there's any that use the exact same package that this one has. So this is a 20 pin. If you go down to the bottom, you can see the package. Packages are always at the bottom of the data sheet, by the way. So this is a 3x3 20 QFN. Yeah, we might be lucky. So here's a 20 QFN 3x3. And here's another QFN. Note that one's a VQFN and one's a QFN. What's the difference? I don't know. I just call them QFNs. I don't know what the... V sometimes is like very thin. It's like, okay, great. Okay, looks like there's a couple options here. Cool. These are all up to 12. So let's start with the Scilabs one. Oh, okay. So when you see this, this happens. You see this big warning. It says not recommended for new designs. That's the thing you got to watch out for. It's still available, but they're basically giving you a hint that like, hey, like this isn't going to be around for very much longer. We might discontinue this at any time.
Warning.
Warning. Yeah, I like how they put it on every page. So again, let's go to the bottom of the data sheet and find the... Sorry, I actually don't want it to be at the bottom. I want that to be at the top, and I want to find the pinout. Let's find the pinout. Pinout, 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 pinout. They don't have it here. Hold on. This really drives me all nuts. They should always have the pin at the top. Okay. So, looks like they have the connectors going around here, and then pin 3 is ground, pin 4 is VDD. So then we compare that to this, and we'll see it's definitely not compatible because you see this has power and ground on pin 6 and 20, like they're across from each other. And this has power and ground on pins 3 and 4. So this CPT 112, first off, it's not recommended for new designs. And second, it's not pin compatible anyways. So we'll keep it in mind, but it's not recommended. Okay, and then there's more in that family, the CPT series, but it's pretty much either CPT 112s or the AT42 QTs. So let's check out the next one down, which is the AT42 QT. So this one is by Atmel. It comes in a bunch of different packages. SOIC, TSOP, QFN. And it has two modes, a comms mode where you use I2C, and then a standalone mode, which I really like. Standalone mode is really cool because it lets you basically have capacitive touch buttons that go straight to GPIO. You don't need a microcontroller at all. So it's like you can plug it into any kind of electronics. But let's look at the QFN. So it does have 12 keys. So you can see key 0 through key 11. So there's 12 inputs. But again, the power and ground, I always just look at those first because if those don't match, I can't make anything else match. These are on pins 8 and 9, which doesn't match the way that the MPR 121 has. So this isn't pin compatible, but it is functionally compatible. It has I2C, it has the 12 inputs, it has power, it has I2C, it has reset, it has like an interrupt. So, that's going to be very similar to, you have an IRQ, I2C, and then, a couple other pins and power, and then 12 elements. So, this isn't a bad replacement. You would have to relay out your board, but maybe that's worth it. That does happen every few years. You'll find you can't find a part. You might need to respin the board. However, like the overall functionality, I think is close enough that I would probably pick this as an alternative. This one looked really good, but again, it's not recommended for new designs, which is it's a little scary to me. I don't want to get involved with another chip that's going to break my heart. So that's how I found an equivalent for the MPR 121. You're wondering what should I use? I can't get that. Check out the AT42 QT 2120 series from Atmel Microchip. They've got a couple different packages. I'm sure if you look online, you'll probably find some example code from them or others. A nice 12-input capacitive touch controller.
All right, that's a great search with DigKey.
We found it.
Where in the world is that part I need? The great search with DigKey.
Okay, So, a couple comments, questions, and more.
Yeah.
Bill from AT Maker stopped by. Tell them more thanks for adding the V-high pin on that design. That was for the ESP 32S2, I think.
Yes.
And then, speaking of stemma, I was going to add stemma to the HT16K33 backpacks, but the chips are hard to find, get hold of. Any chance you could stock those, or are those chips getting sunsetted?
They're not getting sunsetted, but they're from Holtec, and you have to buy them direct from Holtec. I've always been a little weirded out that like you can't get Holtec chips, from a distributor. You know what? If y'all email DigiKey and ask them to carry Holtec, maybe they will, because I think it would be very nice. There's a lot of low-cost chips, LED drivers, and microcontrollers from Holtec that I think could really benefit the DigiKey catalog.
All right. Also, people like the jingle.
It's a nice jingle.
They like the jingle.
Yeah.
Because that's this, I live here with LadyAda, and I hear her humming and singing. Where in the world's a part of needle? Go check DigiKey. Okay.
Well, now I do, because I got that song in my head.
Okay. So I'm just gonna, the person who like posted the same question a billion times and like flooded the chat, like I have to tell you not to do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
Don't flood.
User timeout. Okay.
Any other
Next
questions?
up, thanks for sharing your process with searching for the equivalent.
Equivalent searching is a big challenge for engineers. This is why I'm doing a couple different versions of it. I think it's like you're often brought onto a project that's like, well, we've had this product for many, many years and we have to revise it. I mean, this happens with software as well, right? You're very happy you have some web service or some software product that's great, and then all of a sudden, that version isn't available, or it's sunsetted, or TLS 1.1 is basically deprecated across the board and throughout the internet, and you have to basically figure out how to port your stuff over to TLS 1.2. Whatever it is a common issue with technology. Technology moves forward. We have to keep up. Sometimes we find drop-in replacement. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of board respin or API rework. That's part of the game.
Okay. Scar says, liking the AT42QT1070 for capacitive touch board.
Yeah. They've got solid capacitive touch. It's called the Q-Touch. That's
Yeah.
where the QT stands for.
Someone's going to email DigiKey about the Holtec chips, thanks.
You should.
And
That's how they get new products. They get suggestions.
here's a request. More LoRa tutorials not involving a gateway or cloud.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, sweet.
All right, that is our Desk of LadyAda this week. We're
Thanks,
at the 30-minute
everybody.
mark. Thank you so much, everybody. Continue to stay safe. Wear a mask. Make plans. There's a lot of things.
Make a go bag.
There's a lot of things that you can't control, but there's a lot of things you can.
Get a flu shot.
These are all things that
These
we'll
are
try
things
to
you can
remind
do.
everyone. Register to vote. Do your mail-in vote thing. Look it up. We have adafruit.com/vote for other resources. Thanks to the folks who said they're going to be a poll worker in their location.
Yay.
So we'll see everybody next week.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.